Have it. The next entity I understand members wish to debate is Television New Zealand Limited. The question is that the report of the Commerce Committee on the 2009-10 financial review of Television New Zealand Limited be noted.
Mr Chair.
The Honourable Dr Coleman.
Mr Chair, of all the entities that the Labor government completely knackered, there would have been none more completely knackered than Television New Zealand. And I can tell you, talk about receiving a hospital pass. The Labor Party managed to run down the public equity in TVNZ from almost $1 billion in 1999 to 9 years later a little more than $200 million. And you'd say that would need some real financial mismanagement on the part of the minister in charge to be able to do that. But they managed it. And how did they do it? Well, they shackled TVNZ with a completely ridiculous charter that had them answering two masters. These guys over there, they inherited a very profitable commercial television station, massive equity, but they tried to turn it into something that it wasn't. They tried to turn back the clock and turn it into the old NZBC. They had Steve Mahari's charter and they tried to foist that on an organisation, and frankly, they just about completely ruined it. And by the time they had finished with it, TVNZ was hardly returning a dividend. Well, the good news is, Mr Chair, under this government, we've turned around the performance of Television New Zealand. The commercial performance has increased considerably. And not only that, we're actually just about to remove that terrible TVNZ charter. And you know what the real indictment of the charter was, Mr Chair? In actual fact, there was no difference in the content before the charter as compared to during the charter, and there'll be no difference after the charter as well. So all that effort that Steve Mahari put into wrecking TVNZ by foisting that charter on it, yes, he did just about wreck it, but TVNZ survived. But what's even better is that charter is just about to be removed for good. And what these people over here never realised is that TVNZ, 93% commercially funded, it was never going to be the public broadcaster of old. And these people, I tell you, they will say to you that this government should not be closing down TVNZ 7. But the fact is, these guys, they left $79 million on the table for it for 6 years with no plan as to how they were going to continue that funding. They just left it up to us. And when we're left with that hard decision of what's going to happen with TVNZ 7, they expect us to find another $15 million to fund it. And if Claire Curran gets time, I think there's 2 minutes left in this debate, I want her to tell the House, to promise the House, that the Labor government will fund TVNZ 7, that they will find $15 million a year to do it. And I can tell you, she'll talk tough on it, but I bet you she will not find that money. So I'm going to quit early from this because there's 2 minutes left, because I want to hear Claire Curran walk the talk and tell us that a Labor government will fund TVNZ 7. So please, Ms Curran, now's your chance.
Mr Chair.
Call Claire Curran.